Hey everybody, this is Rocky and Sarah from the Tea and Tequila Book Show, and today we're going to talk about why you must be ruthless with your characters. So Sarah, I know you have some awesome points about this, so take it away.
Yes, you can't coddle your characters. I know you'll get attached to them. I know you'll think he's so cute. I know that, or she's so cute, depending. I know you'll think they're the best things ever. You've lived up with them for a while, but you must kill them. Or at least give them a really hard time. If you want to see the king of this, it's Joss Whedon with all his stuff, but particularly Buffy. Spoiler alert, so skip this video if you haven't seen it or you don't care. But Buffy gets kicked out of heaven. Buffy dies and comes back to life. He could have made her in hell and then brought her back and it would have been like, oh, I'm happy. No, she had to suffer. He makes all his characters suffer. People die by like constantly getting hit in the chest, and we love him for it. I might get sad, but it's amazing. Like, she kills off her mother. Like, you cannot be gentle with your characters. And what makes the show so good is people develop and grow and evolve through hardship. If you think back in your life, unfortunately, there's probably incidences you remember that were really horrible, but they made you who you are today and made you stronger. And you get to be a more chill person. The more bad things you go through, you realize you survive them. But no one wants to read a book where this girl gets $1 million, marries the man of her dreams, and has perfect clothes and hair and can eat 5 pounds of chocolate chips and keep her same weight. You would hate that person. And also, it's not interesting. It's really boring. Like, everyone hates that person where everything perfect. Everyone loves stories, and the only good stories are the bad dates. If you have a good date, you're like, he was nice, it was a great time. But a bad date, you're like, and then he twirled me around. Why was he twirling me when I first met him? And he talked about his, like, animal carcass collection. That's an amazing story, but the person had to suffer to get there.
So here's another bit about that, because absolutely, like, a story must have constant and increasing tension. And you can have constant increasing tension if everybody's like chasing butterflies and rainbows. Like, that just doesn't happen. Like, you need to be chasing butterflies and rainbows with fucking werewolves behind you chasing you, and you're gonna die. And the butterfly is going to save you. Like,
my husband's scared of butterflies, though, so that would be legitimately terrifying. Sorry, Jeff, to call you out.
Sorry, Sarah husband. Like, maybe the butterflies are chasing you. So here, like, Game of Thrones, everybody talks about how evil the author is for making you fall in love with different characters and then killing them, sometimes quite viciously. But the thing is what happens is that you're constantly on your toes about, well, I love you. Will you die? I don't know. We need to find out. So you're creating this suspense and this tension in the reader where they don't know and they're aching to find out. And just like Sarah was saying, you need hardships for your character to change, evolve, and develop for their hero's journey so that the ending is actually real, relatable, and honest. Because if you have the same person beginning of the story, then have to like sort of overcome these challenges and doesn't change at all, and then somehow saves everybody. And this is also, Sarah and I started the conversation thinking about like high fantasy and stuff like that, but this is also true of contemporary. So you don't look at a story and think that a contemporary romance is going to be all beautiful. There needs to be something that the obstacles that must be overcome. And also what happens when you have that increasing tension or consistent tension, and when you have those really bad moments, it makes those moments when the girl gets twirled around on the date or something, like, it actually feels so good because they went through so much to get there. If everything was like that, then you just look at memes and get your little happy fluttery butterflies or whatever online, because you can only sustain that level of interest and that just like happy moment for so long. You need to be able to be ruthless with your characters. Sometimes you have to kill them. It's just the way of the game. Sometimes you have to torture them. Sometimes you gotta, take their love away. Sometimes you have to make them lose a loved one. Like, all these things. Sometimes they need to face horrible humiliation. depending on your genre, depending on your story, depending on your character, you gotta be ruthless so that way, one, the reader keeps reading, and two, your character develops as he or she must to make the rest of the story happen.
Also, but there is a flip side to this, which I feel like I need a caveat, is the Harry Potter 7th book syndrome. Also, spoilers, but if you haven't read Harry Potter by now, just stop watching this video and just get to it. Or it's also Richard III, which is history, so I don't feel bad spoiling it. If everyone dies all the time, it loses its emotional punch. So you still have to use it wisely, but like the end of the 7th Harry Potter, for me and a lot of readers I know, we felt like I couldn't react to everyone's death properly because it's just such a bloodbath. Which can work once or twice, like the Red Wedding or whatever. You can do it for emotional effect, but your book should not be everyone dies. You need to have good pacing, is what I'm saying. So there should be a balance between highs and lows, which is important for any book. But don't make it that everyone dies every page, because then people get numb to it.
Exactly. That's so true. You need the highs and lows. So when I had the first edit of my novel, the editor was like, Rocky, I just feel like I've died with this girl and we're just like suffering and suffering and suffering. You need to give me like some sort of light, you know, that they'll carry me through all of this pain. So I had to put in like the pacing. You need the highs and lows. And the thing is that the highs will make it so the lows hurt more too, because you're like, shit. There we go again. But you go up and down, and then you also don't want to, so the pacing's really important. And also not just being evil to everybody, like it has to have a purpose. There needs to be intention behind it. And if you don't do that, then that's when you start to get numb. Your reader gets numb.
Also, so no one wants to continue it. No one wants to read just like a really dark book. That's why there's so much comedic relief in dark shows or dark movies. You need that one character to lighten it, because it's not sustainable and people will put the book down if it's like that nonstop.
So true. So true. So be ruthless with your characters, but also be very purposeful with how you're being ruthless and why you're being ruthless. Make sure that it carries the story forward, and then also look at, in general, your pacing, so that way that those ruthless moments can be felt and can drive the story.
And that's all we have for this week, but we'll see you next week on the Tea and Tequila Show, and don't forget to be ruthless.